Naming ionic and covalent compounds. In this lesson, we'll be learning how to name ionic and name covalent compounds. Ionic versus covalent. The characteristics of an ionic include metal plus nonmetal, calcium plus anion, electrons are transferred, they have high melting and boiling points, and are great conductors of electricity. The characteristics of a covalent include nonmetal plus nonmetal, electrons are shared, solid, liquid, or gases at room temperature, they have a low melting point, and are insulators in both solid and liquid states. Now that we know the different characteristics of an ionic and a covalent, we can now move on and learn how to name ionic and covalent compounds. Please take notes and pay attention, for there will be a quiz at the end of this video. Naming ionic compounds. Ionic compounds can be hard but easy depending on the compound. Ionic compound is a compound held together by ionic bonds. When naming a compound, you must first name the cation, which is the metal, and the anion, which is the nonmetal. A binary ionic compound is a compound with two different elements, in which the anion will end in an IDE. Another important tip when naming is when a metal forms more than one type of cation, a Roman numeral in parentheses will be used to show the cation's charge. For example, copper 2 equals copper 2. Copper to the third charge is copper 3. Some metals only produce one cation. These metals are Al to the third charge, Zn to the second charge, Ag, and Sc to the third charge. Now let's do some practice problems. First, do number 1. Pause the recording and work this out on your own. If you got sodium chloride, then you're correct. Look at your work and see if you got it correct or not. If you did not, then look at the work on the board to see what you did wrong. Now let's try number 2. If you got magnesium oxide, then you are correct. Please check your work to see if you got it right. If you did not, look at the work on the board and see if you did anything wrong. Naming covalent compounds. Covalent compounds is a bit more tricky than ionic compounds. Covalent compounds are formed when two or more nonmetal atoms share electrons. When naming covalent compounds, you must memorize the prefixes mono, which is 1, di, which is 2, tri, which is 3, tetra, which is 4, penta, which is 5, hexa, which is 6, hepta, which is 7, octa, which is 8, nona, which is 9, and decta, which is 10. Let me show you some examples of naming covalent compounds. Unlike ionic compounds, covalent compounds use 10 prefixes that you will need to memorize. Example 1. The second element in the compound has only one atom, so use the prefix mono, which is 1. In example 2, both the first and second element have more than one atom, so use di, which is 2 for N2, and for O3, tri. So dinitrogen trioxide. In conclusion, ionic and covalent compounds can be both hard and easy. Ionic compounds and covalent compounds have many different characteristics. So when naming them, you must be extremely cautious. When naming an ionic compound, the cation will go first and the anion will go last with an "ide" ending. When naming covalent compounds, there are 10 different prefixes you will need to learn. I hope you enjoyed the video, and now it's time for your end of the video quiz.